Hello, everybody. Welcome back to our third edition of the Summer Split Power Rankings. I am really interested because things have changed quite dramatically for a couple teams, and for other teams, maybe not so much. But it's definitely been an interesting split so far, and we got to start at number 10 here with FlyQuest. I'm gonna just read this one verbatim because I think it explains a lot of what's going on with this team in my mind. It's almost incomprehensible that FlyQuest are here. There's no world where they should be, yet they are. It will take a Herculean effort from this squad to make it anywhere near the top of the LCS at this point. Instead, they will need to take it one game at a time and try to make their way to a comfortable playoff spot. Time is officially up for this team. They need to win at least 2 games next week or things will be looking dire. I would argue, even with myself, that things are already dire, but I mean, you can easily go 12-6 and have, a top 4 spot. It's just they're already 2 games over, I believe, the amount of losses that they had last split. And, I think once they get that first one, things will look better, but I don't know who they're going to get it against because they're losing right now to everybody. They look completely lost. It's bad. Ugh, sorry, FlyQuest. For Immortals, guys, listen. Immortals are a fine team, just in terms of that they aren't terrible, but they're not good. It's been really solo Kenvi and Treats that have been okay, and I know that everybody's gonna go look. Kenvi's not playing well. Like he's doing, I think, the best he can with what he's got. I think Tactical has had some good moments. I think Balulu has had some good moments, but like, this team overall last week was really, really bad for them. And, they are kind of looking like the odd man out. And I don't know how much better they're going to get. They just don't have a lot of firepower. So Immortals sit here at number 9. At 8, they stick around 100 Thieves. They got a win with Quid. It was great. It's over Immortals. But the crazy part is their only wins are against FlyQuest and Immortals. And as you can see, those two teams are below them on the standings. So it's not looking great for 100 Thieves. I think teams just really have them figured out. If you can shut down Double Lift, then I think you have a pretty good chance of beating them right now. And Quid's going to be the one that's going to have to step up. I think, Someday and Closer are also playing pretty poorly overall. So it's just not looking great, really, for 100 Thieves as a whole. But I think they can turn it around. It just needs to happen sooner than later. At number 7, I am looking into the camera and I'm going to say it now. I apologize, Rich. I was not familiar with your game, and he has played much better than I expected him to. I still don't know if he's great. I think he might just be good, and that's fine. The rest of the team still has me a little concerned, though. I don't know. I don't know that Diamond is it. I don't think he's great or good even. I think he's about average, maybe a little below average. And I just don't. Jensen is solid at positioning, but he doesn't take many risks, and it I think hurts this team at times. It's really going to be Tomo and Rich that are going to have to step up and do the damage, and that's asking a lot out of 2 relatively inexperienced players, at least in the LCS. Number 6, we hop to NRG. This is a solid team. I know that I think they're 2-4 right now. Sorry, brain's farting right now, but they are a much better team than I think everybody realizes. And their win on Friday over Cloud9 should not be understated. They demolished Cloud9. It was not a very close game, and their style is starting to kind of flourish again. They have these times where they try too much to be in the meta, and I think why we see them do so well at the beginning of metas, and talking specifically about Dokla Contracts and Palafox, is because they're willing to experiment, they're willing to try things out, and they're willing to be creative, and I think that they need to stick with that. Sure, it may not be a conventional way of winning, but allow for your bot lane to do that. Now they have that with FBI and with Ignar. They will always play what is traditional, and that can be very good for a team that sometimes takes risks. It's a good balance. I think a good, I don't know. It's like they're black and white, and they're combining to be this solid gray mixture. I know it's not a great analogy or a pretty color necessarily that I'm painting, but you get my drift. Like, they are I think a solid team, and they need to be getting a little more respect. They could drop right back down here, with the last 3 games of this first half of the split, but I do like this team a lot. Putting TSM here, even for me, like, this has been a dream scenario for this team. They're 3-3. They're continuing to play well, and I genuinely think Chime is just so unbelievably under the radar and underrated right now. He is making plays. I know he's making a lot of calls for this team, and I want to give a little respect to Boogie. I know a lot of people are kind of critical of him, even in the TSM sphere, but I do think that while he is high risk, high reward, I think that his risky levels have actually come down a little bit, and it's been nice to see him playing so well, considering I really thought Maple was the one that was kind of covering up his bad spots, and now it seems as though he has learned from that, and he's covering his own bad spots a little bit better. But that's also helping a guy named Insanity who, listen, he needs to be the starter. TSM, if you are watching and you are making the decisions for this week, please keep him in. Don't ruin this good vibe that they've got going. I think he's playing really, really well. He's one of the top, he's tied for 3rd in the LCS in kills amongst mid laners, and he's only behind by like 2 or 3. This guy's providing a nice boost. Don't get rid of him. I think TSM have a pretty decent shot in their last split to be something solid. We move along here. 4th place is Team Liquid, Team TL4, right? That's the meme, but really, a loss to Dignitas in any other split would actually be a major concern, but they're playing pretty well right now, so maybe it's not. The problem is that it looked like Team Liquid, were getting back into their old bad habits, like really not playing their team fights all that cleanly, and I think they don't have to overcompensate in their laning phase. They're all very talented. They have the ability, I think, especially in the top lane and the bot lane, to win naturally without them having to put any extra pressure there to make it happen. So I want to see them get back to playing a confident, slower style, and understanding where to take their fights. If they do that, there's maybe only 1 or 2 teams in the league that can take them down. Number 3, we got Golden Guardians, and they are back, baby. Like, this team looked much better. River and Gory, I think, were playing, more cohesively. And that was, I think, a major reason why they struggled so much in week 1. Week 2 felt like they were kind of back in their groove. They were playing things that allowed Gory, I think, to be a lot more active on the map and have more kill pressure in lane, which is, I believe, extremely important. His Jace game in particular was extremely fun to watch. I think Gory is one of my biggest misses on valuing where a player would be starting at the beginning of the spring split. He has just been fantastic, and it's been really fun to watch. I gotta give a little credit to Stixay too. I don't know that he's a top tier, like, amazing type player, but he has games when the rest of the team isn't playing all that well, where he just carries them single-handedly, 1v9s, and if he can do that 3 times a season, then that makes him one of the most valuable players on their team. I know he's pretty average the rest of it, but you only need 1 or 2 of those games during the playoffs to make a run, and he's shown that more than once. Heading up to number 2, we've got Evil Geniuses, who are way better than I think all of us thought they were going to be, even after week 1. This split, they are leading the LCS in kills. They're last in deaths, and they have a KD of 2.06. That is 0.42 higher than anybody else in the LCS right now, and with Team Liquid being in second. They're not dying. They're getting a lot of kills, and they look as though all of them are playing, as one cohesive unit. Again, like, I'm going to continue to make this comparison, but I think JoJo right now is playing like, again, if you've seen Season 3 of Ted Lasso, this isn't a spoiler, just they're playing around Jamie Tart. He has a decision that they make, and it allows for them to play through him and around him all at the same time. It's not making JoJo look selfish, but he is helping to enable his teammates while they are giving him just enough to be able to carry them in certain moments. It's a beautiful style of League of Legends that we're seeing right now to this team. And they will run through a rough patch, but I think it will fall to JoJo to really be able to kind of carry them through it. They don't have to be great. They don't have to win every game through it. But, when they go through maybe a 6-game patch where they're not playing as well, if they can win 2 or 3 games during that, that's going to be enough to keep them in the hunt. And I'm just really loving the way this team is looking. Last, it's still Cloud9, guys. I don't care how badly they got beat by NRG. This team is still, they're the king of the castle right now. They're the king of the hill, whatever you want to use. They are not getting beat very easily, and I don't think they're going to lose a whole lot of games. It's rare for a Cloud9 team. I know they've had, runs in the past, but they're always going to lose like 3 or 4 games. They're going to learn from them, and it's going to just make them better. If you're a Cloud9 fan, you should be happy that they are losing, because when they do lose, I think they come out and they just stomp people the next week. So I expect that to happen. I think Eminez specifically is really starting to kind of scale right now as we're 6 games in. So make sure you're on the lookout for that. But yeah, with that, let me know where you guys see these teams. Let me know in the comment section below just where you would rank them, and make sure that you subscribe and like and hit that bell icon so that you guys are not missing any of the great sports, esports, and gaming content that's coming out on the Game House daily. With that, I'll catch you guys on the next one.